Hi guys, so my name is Hanspal, and you might be wondering that I'm recording this session to talk about things upon financial modeling, valuations, or stock market analysis. But no, the session for today is about a different context. Today, I won't be talking about the different models of valuations or trying to make my students understand how to value a company, talking about DCF modeling and relative modeling and private equity. No. So this session is completely different. Here in this session, I would like to bring in awareness of all the students who are getting graduated, doing any kind of degree, be it like passing out from their classes of class 12th maybe, or like going towards the graduation, doing BBA, BCom, MBA, CFA, CA. So I'm trying to address all those students who are entering into this ultimate competitive world and striving for success. Striving for success should be the ultimate goal, and that is the major thing that the guys are striving for, and that is a thing which I admire also. But before talking about these things, or before starting the discussion, I would like to bring one thing to the notices, that I respect everyone who is doing any of the curriculums, be it a person who is going for any of the degrees in the market, be it India or abroad, a person doing a BBA, BCom, or a person who is just a BBA or a BCom, or a person who is not even undergraduated or just passed class 12, and like due to some financial circumstances, like he might not be able to do his graduate studies as well. A person might be doing MBA, a person might be doing a CFA, CA, ACCA, FRM, or any kind of non-financial degrees as well, like be it in the fields of marketing, HR, operations, or science, XYZ degrees, right? And I also respect everyone who is a finance influencer, who is a YouTuber, like who has millions and billions of followers on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, or any other social media platforms. And they tend to post content on daily basis. Even I post content on these social media platforms, but I'm not a finance influencer. But I still respect all these guys who have a lot of experience and I would say a kind of education behind them, which like motivates them or which has made themselves capable of providing that useful content to people. Even I learned from those guys, right? So first of all, that I respect everyone, be it any of the degrees or be it any of the YouTuber or the financial influencer per se. But now I would like to stress one point is the one point which I want to stress is there is a difference between interested or being passionate about, and the second thing is being something just for the namesake. What do I mean? Nothing to demean anyone. The thing is, if a student is pursuing something, be it a BCom curriculum, a BBA curriculum, or the MBA curriculum, that person should have interest into that particular field or that particular degree or curriculum. That person should not be doing those higher studies or that particular course or degree just because his friend is doing it, or just because a top voice on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or any other social media platform did that. Because nowadays the students and the young generation, especially those 18 years of age, that age group between, I would say not 18, but especially from that 15 years of age group to that 25 years of age group, this 10-year age has been so fascinated about those people who are having millions and billions of followers on these social media platforms, be it LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's good to get inspired from these guys. It's good to get to learn from those people, try to understand their drawbacks, like their motivation, like what did they do in the past and how did they come up here. But it is not always mandatory to copy such people or try to be such people, right? From like some of the experiences of my friends or a few of the students whom I tend to talk with, right? They do their BCom or BBA, like if I talk in particularly from the core finance point of view, they have done they are like the BCom and the BBA. Now they're pursuing their Masters of Business Administration, correct? After the Masters of Business Administrations, the people are not sure what to do. They've chosen that specific field, be it finance, be it marketing, be it HR, be it operations, or being the combination of two specializations. But those guys are not sure that what they want to do. The friend starts to do a CA. Then, like they also start to do CA. The friend is doing CFA. Then they also start to do CFA or with any of the curriculum that their friends are doing. Because nowadays, I'm not saying it's bad to do an MBA or a CFA or a CM. It is bad to do only when you don't have interest into these curriculums. and were just doing these curriculums because your friend, a family member, or someone who's your top voice on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram has been doing that. I agree that these higher degrees will might help you to get a higher job into top investment banking companies, might pay you lakhs and crores of salaries, right? But if you are not interested into that profile or into that particular degree, the first thing is that you might not be able to clear those exams. Like even if you give like first attempt, second attempt, third, or like hundreds of kinds of attempt, and even if you clear that and land into that particular role or profile, still you won't be clear that what to do and why did you do such degrees. Because we get influenced by people, especially I would say on LinkedIn. I'm not demeaning the platform on LinkedIn, where people tend to mention in their profiles as BCom/MBA/CA, CFA, then FRM, then ACCA. And then nowadays, the people have also started to mention 1.5 million impressions on my post, having 20,000 followers or like 1 million followers. It's not bad to write your qualifications or write the amount of impressions that you had on your post, or the followers are like freely available, correct? There is nothing bad to do that. But the person who is viewing those things, if that person takes that in the wrong direction, getting to understand those things and getting like motivated by such kind of influential people whom I really respect is a good thing. But going into some other different paths or to achieve that particular success in a very short term or finding a shortcut is really bad. So I would suggest, or I would implicitly say to all the students like who are in the age group of 15 to 25 or with any of the age groups, go to that particular field that interests you. If your friend is doing a CFA, but you're not interested in a CFA, don't need to do a CFA after the MBA program. Be happy with that. Because nowadays I see a lot of people are doing CFA. Like there was a time like during, I would say 25 to 30 years back, like when our parents were young, like there was a trend of MBA. Like anyone like who used to do the Masters of Business Administration was a star. And like people used to say like you have done MBA and you are like just equivalent to God. But now the trend of MBA has gone and that trend of higher degrees has come into place. The first thing maybe like CFA, like just for example, or maybe the startup world. On most of the profiles, on most of the, I would say like those candidates like who might not be serious about these degrees of CFA or FRM or the ACCA, they tend to mention in their profiles as CFA level 1 candidate, CFA level 2 candidate, CFA level 3 candidate. Now, this thing has become a trend. Every person who is not even interested in finance is just doing CFA or clearing CFA level 1 and 2 just because his friend has done it. Just because his friend, like who is a CFA level 1 or CFA level 2, has posted some financial content on YouTube or the LinkedIn post, this sounds to be too advanced. And that person assumes that the person who has posted that content is earning in lakhs and crores. So I need to do a CFA or the FRM or CA or the SEC curriculum. And the second thing and the third thing is the startup world, as we all know. So before touching the startup world, all the degrees are respectable. All the degrees have significant value, 1,000% value are degrees, but only do such amount of higher degrees if you have interest. Being an undergraduate is the minimum criteria that I would like suggest you for. If you can afford an MBA, then do an MBA as well. It's all about on your, I would say, interest, the amount of money that you can afford, or the amount of education loan that you can take and like later pay it off. But the thing is, only do these kinds of higher curriculums, be it MBA, CFA, CCA, only if you have interest. Then don't just look or assume the bank balance of a person who has done these things. Don't get influenced by millions and billions of a person's followers on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. How many followers he has, how much degree he has. I might do tens or thousands of degrees and I might be considered a guru. No, until and unless you don't have a passion. There are people who are not MBAs, not CFAs, but they had passion into a particular field. And those people started their own business, started their own platforms after a certified or after having a certain experience in their job profiles. They got to learn from different sources, did not have an established degree like a CFA, CA, FRM, ACC, MBA. But those people are now the biggest finance influencers or youth icons on social media platforms. Try to get inspired in a positive way. Those people who even have degrees or don't have degrees are the persons who have climbed that ladder and been that top voice and kind of influencers. Correct? So that thing like you need to take into consideration. If you have interest, then only go for such curriculums or higher degrees. If don't, then don't go for that. Then the startup world. Nowadays, I've started hearing people that if you have a startup or a self business, right, then only people tend to respect you. But if you go for a 9 to 5 job or a 9 to 9 job, then people tend to disregard you. See, everyone has their own career path and goal careers, own outcome. They are responsible for their own actions and their outcomes as well. If a person is interested into a high profile job, into a higher degree, then let him do that. If a person is interested in just a normal job, a 9 to 5 job or a 12 hour, 13 hours job, he's fine with that. If that person is not interested in starting a business, then why to disregard that particular person? Every person has different interests, different passions, different outcomes, and different ways of reaching their goals. If you are running a startup, like you have your own business, like you have a startup ecosystem, you can't disregard, or you can't kind of, I would say, you cannot, like तुम बेइज्जती नहीं कर सकते उस person की, correct? Like you cannot just say random stuff to that person, like who is going into a job. I've seen a large amount of people like who have just started their business, who have not made a single revenue. They tag themselves as founder of such and such company. Even that is mentioned in like most of the profiles I see on social media platforms. They tag themselves as founder of XYZ company. They have not yet made a single penny of money. They just started their company yesterday. And from the second day itself, they tend to disregard the people like who do jobs. They tend to say, "Tum job karte ho? Kya karte ho? Start your own business." Never to disregard everyone. It's good to respect everyone. It's good to respect everyone's bank balance. It's good to respect everyone's career path, their progression, and what role they choose. Learn to respect everyone, that I would suggest from all the people like which I've seen around. And also, you need to differentiate from those peoples who are really the kind of influencers who can guide you and motivate you, from those people who show you the real quick money making techniques. I've seen people on those 1 minute, 30 minutes ad, 30 seconds ad, like on YouTube, like on that skip ad option, or like on social media platform. They tend to tell you, right? Like come and join our Telegram channel. Like come and join us. Like if you want to live a life like us. I used to do a job that like used to pay me like 20K, but now I'm earning 1 crore per month. It's not easy to make your first 1 crore. Once you make your first 1 crore, like then you can make your 10 crores or like hundreds of crores. Avoid such kind of people who are adding you to these kinds of Telegram groups and in teasing you to do such things. There is never a shortcut for anything. There is never a shortcut. There might be some lottery or like something might come to your place, but ideally in 99.99% of the cases, you have to work hard. You have to do efforts. So try to stay away from those people who tend to give you shortcuts. Okay, join my group, I'll make you rich. Like you will be having some Audi Mercedes after 1 month, 1 year. Avoid such people. Do your own work. And then also like such kind of people, like I've seen from the students, like from the students' perspective, who are doing like really good in their careers, doing the MBA degrees or some degrees like which they want for, and they might be doing like some very good roles, correct? And they see such ads, and then they go to such people, they leave their jobs, and they get shattered. No. Also, stay away from those groups who tell you that we will make your money, who take your money. They might return some amount of money, like with a specific return after a point of time, but that won't long last. You have to stay away from those kinds of people who say you to join your Telegram channel that will make you rich by like investing into some one particular stock, who give you some daily tips, who give you and say you that we have found out a multi-bagger penny stock, like invest into this stock or give your money to us, like we'll make your money double or triple in 1 day, 2 days. Stay away from such Telegram groups or scams. If a group is there just to give stock knowledge, stock advice, it is good. But if someone is asking you money to make you rich, that is wrong. So these things you need to understand. So a few of the lessons, like very politely and quite respectably to all the people. Number one, learn to respect everyone's job, be it any of the careers. If you are a top investment banker, owns lakhs and crores of rupees, you cannot disrespect a rickshaw wala or someone like who is just a labor. You need to respect every path. If a person, like if you have your own business or a startup, be it just a one-day startup or a startup like Byju's or like some of the large company, तुम उसके founder भी क्यों ना हो, respect a person who is doing job. So these things you need to respect and take into consideration. And you have to respect each and everyone's lines of career and always choose that path, that degree that interests you and not what your friend is doing. So that's my recommendation, and you will stay happy in your life. Happy in your life. And seeing others people's achievements, their degrees, accomplishments, and the kind of abilities, I would say, people tend to get demotivated and perplexed. कि उसने तो, like that person like is of same age of ours, that person has millions and billions of founders, followers, earning so much and buying so much things and getting like so much likes, impressions on LinkedIn post and doing so much in life, but we're still not able to do so. It can happen that you start your career 5 years later than him or her, and you are more successful than him after 10 years. So have patience, because these platforms have now become a platform to compare, to compete. But I don't believe in competition. I personally believe in cooperation. So these things you have to avoid. Correct. So take all these learnings along with you. Try to be a better person. Learn to respect everyone, their jobs, professions, and don't make these online platforms as a competitive platforms, or never try to compare yourself with the other's achievements, be the same age or the other. Define your own path, be your own motivator, and be your own idol. Thank you.